Hey, good afternoon. It is Sunday, let's see here, the 30th of August. Tomorrow kicks off our first full week of school. Um, and so I thought um, I would share a video. In this video, I'll tell you just a little bit about the week. I'll go over just a couple short PowerPoints, which I will also post on um, uh, Google Classroom and on that online doc. Um, we'll talk just a little bit about assignments, projects, and things like that. So let's see here. There we go. So for the first thing, this week I'm just going to do an introduction. Let's see here. An introduction for. Oops, I'm not sure what happened. Come on, this thing is slow. All right, here we go. Okay, and just an intro to. Whoops, I don't want that. No, shrink that. Boom. Okay, here's what I want. Present. So, just an introduction to world history. Okay. Um, I'm on my back porch because I love it. It's beautiful. I got tons of plants and stuff. And out there, I don't know if you can see. I don't even know where the ducks are at. Maybe over there you can see some ducks. Yeah, we live in town, but we have ducks, so we love it. All right, so I digress. Introduction to world history. Like I said, I'm going to post this on Classroom as well. So, um, Unit 1. Okay, Unit 1 consists of a whole bunch of different things. We're going to talk about human history, kind of like the origins. Not all the origin stories, because there's a ton of them, but a couple origin stories. Okay. How we went from how early humans went from a nomadic lifestyle. If you don't know what nomadic is, it's moving around all the time, looking for food, hunting and gathering. Okay, so how they went from a nomadic lifestyle to a stationary lifestyle. In other words, kind of like we are now, we're in one spot. Okay, a change in diet that came about because of that. The importance of rivers. You can never, just water in general is extremely important. It's important now, but it's extremely important in the development of civilization over time. Population explosion, technological advances, religion, and cultural change. Okay. And as you go down the list there, actually, they kind of build on each other. Okay. As I've said before, history is a lot of cause and effect. Okay. It's a lot of making connections between things. Things build off each other and branch out, and so on and so forth. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about human history. The very first humans. Okay, we've got Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and some of the other funky named people. Right, until we get to Homo sapiens. There's also some Cro-Magnon man, Neanderthals. Okay, people like that. Hunting and gathering people. Tribes started out as hunting and gathering. Okay, they would move from place to place following herds of animals, and when they were with those herds of animals, typically the females and the children would gather grains, berries, things like that. Okay, and then they would subsist off those things. And then after the herds moved away and they needed more meat, they would move again. Okay, and it was usually in a cyclical type of area. They wouldn't like zigzag all over the place. They would go from one place and they'd return the next year to the same place because the herds followed patterns as well. Okay. Also, over time, the human body type changed to be where we are today. Okay. So move on. We're not going to get too depth into it. We're not going to go too in depth in this because if we did, then I wouldn't need to have another module, right? Plus, this is just an overview. Nomadic to stationary life. When they're nomadic, they really needed to focus on getting meat. They were constantly moving, hunting. With that, you need You need a higher source um, of protein. You got to have more calories than just grains and fruits and stuff like that can provide. Okay, so um, when people become stationary, they don't need quite as much meat. Do they eat meat? Yes, but they tend to eat more grains and things like that. There is a bee. I have nothing sweet on me. Not even my personality. You can go away. Oh, that's scary. Go away. All right. And body types change because of that, and because of I mean, uh, they change. I mean, bodies need to change over time to adapt to their surroundings, to adapt to the things that they're encountering. All right, rivers. Oh, now I don't want to go too in depth because I got a lot of good critical thinking questions about this when we get to it. But I want you to think about, why are rivers so important, especially when people are first settling down? What is so stinking important about rivers? Okay, think about it. All right, population and technology. When people settle down, um, it allows for a whole ton of different things to happen. Okay, things like technological advances because there's more people sharing ideas. Um, we've got things like new job types, new all kinds of new things are going to be needed, right? When people are settling down, laws, ways to keep records, some form of government, possibly military. Well, we know military because we can look into the past, but all different kinds of things. And so along, and so with that, um, especially when you've got one place that's going to maybe be a hub, you'll have more people interacting, um, and there's going to be a population explosion. Now, it's more complex than just more people gathering together and there's a population explosion, but we'll get into that as we go further on. Religion. So we have the beginnings of religion, at least written religion, as far as when with the early humans. On the left, top left, you've got Hinduism. On the top right, you've got Buddhism, and then down on the bottom middle, you've got Judaism. Um, so, three of the big religions when recorded history first gets going. Cultural change. So, as I said, with growth comes new problems and hurdles to overcome. So think about it for a second. Uh, if you go and yeah, I don't want you to answer it here. We'll talk about it on Wednesday during our when everybody gets together online to discuss from 12:45 to 1:30 or whatever time I put online. Anyway, think about it. Going from a stationary lifestyle, or excuse me, a nomadic lifestyle to a stationary lifestyle, and just being still, what kinds of problems is that going to create over time? And you have to think. Sometimes you have to think big. Sometimes you have to think little. Okay, it's more complex than just saying. I don't know. I give you an example. People are going to break. People are going to get upset with each other, or annoyed with each other, and that's going to cause conflict. Um, there's all kinds of more things than that. So just something to think about. All right, what questions do you have? If you're watching this online, please write down your questions so that on Wednesday during class you can go ahead and ask and let me know, and we can discuss those. Totally up for that. All right. So that was the introduction. Okay.